Yes, good people. It's about Griffiths. There are many issues going around the world currently. African nations are making progress by unity. I think the leaders in Africa realizing that they can no longer be full-time Western puppet, and as such, they are trying to work on the economies of their nations, which is very good because no one gonna do anything proper for you apart from yourself and doing it for your people. By the time being, global crisis like Ukraine war, many conflicts in Africa, war zone, they have been going on for a long time. But people need to realize that making choices that benefit the people that you lead will always be the best choices. One person cannot solve all problems at once, but having a plan and an objective and going to achieve your national interest goal by goal, aggressively looking after your people will always serve you good. There are many great leaders that have come, and today leaders need to be great for nations to not collapse because the collapse of nations are gearing up, lack of funding, heavy in debt, and many nations are not producing enough foods, no food security. Where many people foods are coming from, they don't really know, they don't have control over that. People depend on money to buy resources. Money is good, but if there's no product to buy with your goods in critical time, what do? You need to produce. You need to know the source of where you're getting your resources from that your community depends on. Because whatever nations or company that send goods and commodity to you, to your community, to your store, they make sure that they have more at home for their own food security, so they send you their supply. So if the time comes that they do not have supply, you, the third party that depend on the shipment of goods to your country, you will not have the product. And what will happen to your people, to your nation? These are questions our nations need to be sorting out. You are independent nation. What make you independent? Those are the things you need to ask yourself. You are independent by things that you are able to provide for yourself and not waiting for the handout. Every nation has great population. Nations need to put their population to work. That is leadership. Developed nations have advantages, but no excuse for developing nations because every nation has its own challenges. But taking care of business at home will always be the best that anyone can do because there where you control almost all the factors. But some nations do not control many factors in their nation because what? They do not seems to be independent nation as they think. In totality, there's no nation that is 100% dependent of other nation. We are interdependent upon one another, but that interdependency should come with a balance. That is each nation competing on the level that they can compete to win. For example, China is the premier goods manufacturer of the world, but there are other nations that are producing goods. And China has taken a lead for many years now, but India is not lying down. India is creating the infrastructure for them to be a force to reckon with in the next 5 to 10 years. with production chain in place of medicine and other high-tech goods. India is leading in those fields, in the IT industry as well. But consumer goods is what India is now investing. So my question is, what are African nations doing to take advantage of the vast continent with the resources, good soil? You need to import more fertilizer to Africa to produce goods. Then shiploads of finished goods coming to Africa. So I think African leaders need to go back to the soil. The soil, African, many have left the soil, but the soil is where we need to get our independence from. So if your soil is not producing, you need fertilizer. You need to check around the world. Country that Russia has immense fertilizer, China does, Ukraine does, Morocco does. So I mean, Africa again, you don't need to leave your continent. African need to look up to Morocco to harden the fertilizer deposit that they have so that Africa can begin to produce goods on a larger scale. Because food security is a main security. For now, Africa has so much water in certain area, but in north and some part in the east, the water is drying. And we need to know how to be able to harden the resources to protect them. Not cutting trees around your river to expose them to higher sunlight that might cause them to dry out faster. So, people, this is Boy Griffiths, Nasser Arabi. It's just a test broadcast. I will see you as often as possible to bring you news and update you with information, and we're all going to be better with sharing information. So, peace.